Okay, we are live. So, hey everyone, this is Shah.
This is Sebastian. Nice to see you all.
Yeah, it's always great to have you guys here. So, today we are going to do a market update. Sebastian is going to take the lead and he's going to show the chart and views that we have for the market and what we think is going to happen next for Bitcoin and all of the other crypto projects, whether it's Ethereum or everyone else, because pretty much every coin out there it follows Bitcoin. It's very unlikely that if Bitcoin falls like $2,000-3,000 and the other crypto would stay up. that
Mhm.
that that kind of magic doesn't happen. So I'll leave it to Sebastian. Over to you. You can share your chart and show us what's happening in the market.
Absolutely. Let me go for it. Sharing my screen now. Okay, can you see the chart now?
I cannot see the screen yet. No,
Yeah, okay. It's probably loading here.
most probably. You have to add it to the stream. You have to click on the screen, add it to the stream.
Um,
It would appear down there.
oh, I
Yeah,
see. Oh
yeah.
no, wait. Huh.
When you hover over with your mouse, you have to click add to stream, then it will come here.
Yeah, I'm trying that, but it isn't working. Let me share again. Maybe that
Yeah, it's okay.
fixes it.
Share again. Don't worry.
Okay. Second take.
Yeah.
Let me know if it pops.
Okay. Until then, all you guys and girls, all those who have questions related to market, your concerns about Bitcoin, if you have taken a trade, I saw someone in our free Telegram group. He mentioned that he has taken a Solana trade. I think he bought it around 21.5 or something. And he had concerns. So if you have these kind of concerns, feel free to ask, and we would try to address them as much as possible. I think you need to click on that add to stream button, brother, because I don't
It
see
does.
your screen.
It's not appearing.
So when you click on share screen, it appears like an image down there, right?
Yeah.
It appears there. So when you hover, when you take your mouse over it, it would say add to stream.
Yeah, that's not
Like
happening.
when you take it over my face, it would say remove from stream.
Um, it's weird. I'm not getting that option.
Wow,
Hmm.
that is very strange.
Yeah,
Let
maybe
me.
I can go out and come back in
Yeah, please do
to the
that.
stream. Let's see if
Yeah,
that
yeah,
fixes the problem. I'll be back.
I hope so. Okay. Okay, everyone. Until that, I'm here with you. I don't see any comments. Let me see if they are not popping up here. They might be popping up there. Let me see if we have any questions. And fortunately, I see a lot of people are online here. Ah, I received a salam here. Walaikum assalam. Okay, let me add back Sebastian. Okay, I have to add his screen to stream and him both. Okay,
Okay,
now we can see everything, Sebastian. Go ahead.
perfect. Cool. So, okay, I'm gonna go first from the bigger time frames down into the smaller time frames, so we can match them all up. And okay, here on the weekly, we have a very, very scary signal that just popped into the chart. It's on this indicator, the blue and green line with the yellow lines over here. This is called cluster algorithm.
Uh-huh.
It's an indicator that mixes momentum and volume. Um, it's basically like a mix of MACD, stochastic RSI, volume,
Oh,
CVD.
it's a mix of it's very hard for me to say. Statistic RSI.
Mhm.
It has that as well.
It has that as well. Yeah, it's like a
Okay,
mix of all momentum and volume indicators.
that
So
one is pretty reliable. Yeah.
it's incredibly accurate. Like if we go back into in time, we can see like it showed a divergence at the bottom, it showed a divergence at the top, it
Yes.
showed a divergence at the COVID bottom, it showed a divergence right before the COVID crash. So it's been really, really reliable. It also
Yeah.
had a hidden divergence for the last push of the previous bull market. So as we can see, this is not a signal we want to mess with. It's very, very accurate. It very rarely sends false signals or noise. So we got to take this into consideration. And when we open it up, it has a lot of room to go down, and it's crossing below the 72 level right now. So if it closes the weekly below here, it's probably going to signal a lot more downside to come, like for a long time.
So you're saying it's a very big bearish signal.
A very big bearish signal. Yeah, it actually makes me kind of worried, because I'm leaning towards the idea that the bottom is already in. But it's possible that it's not due due to this signal. Like this signal is making me doubt if we're actually gonna come down to new lows. So we'll have to keep an eye out for this, right? Like we want to see the momentum come down without price coming down too hard. Like bulls want to see some kind of choppy move, like very complex, very corrective, uh, coming down, while this indicator cools down and comes down so it can take another push to the upside.
Uh-huh. So
Because the
overall, what do you
alternative
think?
is having like a
What,
big drop in price and a big drop in momentum, right? Like that's a big possibility too.
okay, so right now the indicator is basically indicating a very big push towards downward, right?
Yeah, it's telling us that we're going to have at least several weeks of downside action.
Okay, I mean that pretty much goes in line with our previous live discussion we had. Remember,
Yeah.
where I said that personally it would make more sense. I think that if it goes sideways for months
Mm.
and bore the hell out of people.
Yeah, and we can usually see that happening like before big moves. Like it ranges a lot, like before
Yeah,
big moves to the upside, it always consolidates for a long time. And these are several weeks where price didn't really do anything.
exactly. And you can see even in the area that you're showing, it's pretty much a lot of up and down in the short span of time, which gives false hope to people
Mhm.
with the crashes and the bumps up and everything. But in reality, it's not that much compared to what happened next. The big mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something to always have in mind. The moves to the upside are always bigger than the moves to the downside, right? Like even here, we can measure from the all-time high to the all-time low. It was a 77% drop. Like that's a lot.
Wow.
But if you go from the low to the recent high that we made, that was a 100% move, and it hasn't even gone one third of the way back to the all-time
Exactly.
high.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's why uh, traders in the market are always net long. Like longs are always the strongest force in the markets,
Yeah.
because to the downside you can only go down 100%, but to the upside, like there's really no limit.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah.
only limit is how much money is available.
Exactly. I mean, like you correctly said that from downward, the maximum you can do is 100% for it to go to zero.
Yeah. And that's probably not gonna happen, right? Like if Luna is still alive, I think it's very hard for Bitcoin to die.
Yeah. Oh, don't remind people of Luna.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare.
Will bring the PTSD, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's go into happier thoughts then,
Okay.
because when we come down to the 1 day time frame, to the daily
Yeah.
time frame, we have a lot better news, because first of all we can see that the cluster algorithm right now is at the lows, and it already turned green right here, and it's heading to the upside, which indicates that we have some nice momentum to the upside.
Okay.
So that's a good sign for the bulls, and we can expect this to keep moving higher, at least until it turns blue again. So when will that happen? How high can we go? Like, those are the questions that we want to have answered, right?
Yes.
Okay, so for that, we gotta understand the bigger structure that we have here. Basically, when we look at the whole bear market that we've been through since this top,
Yeah.
um, we we can see that we have a structure here that already finished to the downside here, or at least I have it as already done here. So basically, how I'm reading this structure is first, the actual top for the market, I have it right here at the $65,000 high.
Okay.
Um, and basically, I have this structure as a flat. It's the only kind of structure that can go, it can break the starting point, and it's still valid. Like every other structure shouldn't break the starting point, right? So if we're starting a structure right at this high, every other structure should stay below this. But this one actually broke above it. So when we measure exactly to the point where it got, we can use our fib retracement tool to go from this high to this low. And when I pull out my flat targets here, we can see that we had almost the exact top. You see, like the 1.127 is like the most common target for a flat. And
Uh-huh.
we almost hit it. You see, like in some charts, it got right into that level and then it came down. So for me, this is a very nice flat because we have a triple structure on the first leg, a triple structure to make a retracement, and then we have the final leg of the retracement. So right now I have it like that, and that means that I have that whole sequence finishing right here. And from the bottom, we started a new sequence to the upside. So when we zoom in into that sequence, we can see a few different things. Let me go into the daily. And first of all, we can see a very clear impulsive move right here up to the $25,000 high. We have a first move to the upside, a retracement as a wave 2. Then we have a wave 3. That's the biggest one. Wave 3 is always the biggest one. Like you can compare it to the size of this wave 1, and it's like 2, maybe 3 times, almost 3 times bigger, I think. Like we can use our fib extension tool to measure that. Going from the low, we measure wave 1 with the second uh, entry point for this. And then the third point projects the size of our first measurement from wherever we want to project it. So if we project it from the bottom of wave 2, we can see that wave 3 came above the 2.618, probably around the 3 to the 300%, I think. Yeah, you see, almost perfectly to the 300% right there.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this is wave 3 to the 2.618, and then we had a wave 4 down and a wave 5 that went to the 300%. So that to me is a very clear impulsive move. We have a divergence at the top. Usually, in impulsive moves, we always see a divergence between wave 3 and wave 5, and we can see it right here, right? Like a cluster algorithm has a divergence. If we go to our MACD, it has a divergence as well. You can see that the volume here is lower. The lines are going lower, but price was going higher. And with the RSI, the same thing happened, right? So we have multiple divergences, even in volume. If we measure, if we see our volume here, our volume at this high is smaller than the volume at this high. So we had more volume here than here. So yeah, that's a bunch of divergences. And then we had a retracement. I was honestly expecting this retracement to be longer. It bounced a lot sooner than I was expecting, but then we had another leg to the upside. We had uh, 5 more waves to the upside. These ones are pretty horrible. Like you can see the wave 1 is very hard to find and it's very big. Wave 3 is very small. This one is a diagonal, or at least I have it as a diagonal right here, where this is wave 1 to the upside. Oops, let me see. Wave 1 up to this high. Then we had a wave 2 here, wave 3, a wave 4 here. We had a triangle. Not exactly sure where's the low, but somewhere around here is wave 4. And then we had our wave 5, again with a divergence at the top. So now that we have these two motive waves, so basically we have a 535. That's already a valid a valid pattern on itself. That's called a zigzag, right? So we
Yeah.
have a zigzag is always 535. So we had that. It zigzags usually hit the 100% to the 123. And if you see here, it hit perfectly, right? Like
Yeah.
it landed right in between these targets. So it's very likely that this whole sequence is done. So from the bottom of the market at $15,000 up to $31,000, that's one sequence on its own.
So basically, to simplify it, we are saying that the fifth wave towards the top is done. And now, what we are saying right now, with whatever is going on, is just another five-wave move, right?
Exactly. We have a couple of possibilities here. Either we're starting another sequence that's of the same degree of this one, now going to the downside,
Yeah.
which it could break the lows or could hold them. But we'll know in a little. But basically, we know that we had a like almost 6 months. How long was this? 144 days
That's
building a
like
whole
4 months.
sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 4 months or around 4 months building a whole sequence. So now, using the concept of market symmetry, we're expecting the next sequence to be at least proportional to this. Like we didn't expect this move to be it because it was super small compared to this whole move, right? Like this
Yeah.
first push to the downside was incredibly small. We were expecting something bigger, and we got something bigger. So now the question is if we're gonna get something else, because there's another possibility here. The most bullish possibility we have here, as we covered the bearish possibility, which is breaking the lows. We also
Yeah,
have the
but that
possibility.
was that was on the weekly.
Yeah,
What is the bearish case scenario on the daily?
on the daily, there's a few different things. So basically, we have
Because
three waves right here.
sorry to interrupt here,
Yeah.
because what I was looking at, I was seeing that the fifth wave was in action, okay,
Mhm.
until it started going up, and I still see it in a resistance, but I'm not so sure that if the bottom is in for that. So
Yeah,
what do you think?
I totally agree with that, because if we see here on the daily, we're below the 50 EMA, and we didn't even come close to the 200 EMA here. And we're actually like in between right now. Like there's nothing holding us from coming down to this white line.
Yes.
And when we look at the structure here, let me go at a smaller time frame so we can see this better. So basically, we have our first leg of this move to the downside. It's really ugly. This could be either a complex corrective move like a double zigzag or something like that, or it could be five waves. I personally have it as a five-wave move, as a diagonal,
Yeah.
because even though I have it as a triple structure for every move. So we have three moves here, then we have three moves on the next leg, three moves to the downside, three moves up, and three moves down. But in the end, it's five waves. So my teacher has it as three waves. To me, it makes more sense as five waves.
When he uses three waves, he uses WXY.
Yeah, he uses WXY, some kind of complex
Okay.
move. Yeah, I think he has it something like W here, X up here, and Y down here.
Yeah, but I mean that's okay. That's okay. If it's three, if it's five, I mean at least the direction is the same.
Exactly. And in the end, it doesn't matter that much,
Yeah.
because we know that this is a first leg of the sequence,
Yes.
right? Like, uh, since we saw the higher time frames, we knew that this wasn't going to be done right here. And just like that. It had some corrections here, a retracement. I have this as a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and then we came down for the next leg. Now I also have this move as 5 legs already completed. Originally, I
Uh-huh.
was expecting another move down because I had this like a diagonal here, which it didn't really make that much sense because usually the market alternates. So if we have a diagonal at the beginning, we should have an impulsive move at the end. Or if we have an impulsive move at the beginning, we usually have a diagonal at the ending.
Yeah.
It's not a rule, but it's very common to see things happening like that. Um, so originally, I had this as a potential diagonal, but it wasn't like that. So now I have it as a 5-wave move. Right here we have wave 1, retracement, wave 3 down to this wick, wave 4 up to this retracement, and then wave 5 here. It's an impulsive. It's kind of ugly. The retracement for wave 4 was kind of too deep, but it's valid. So right now I have this as a 5-wave move. So now that puts us in the situation like, where are we going from here? Because either we have this as an A, a B for the retracement, and a C, and that sequence is already done. And now we're doing something else to the upside, which could be another corrective to make a complex corrective on bigger patterns, or it could break the highs as well. Like our most bullish scenario is bouncing from here, making 5 moves to the upside, retracement, and then mooning. But the alternative is that we have this as a W, this as an X, and this first move is just the first leg of a Y. For a Y leg, we would have an ABC pattern, a zigzag, so 5 moves, 3 moves to the upside, and then 5 moves down, and we would expect to come down. Now, that's my favorite scenario, because since I'm very bullish right now, that would give us the biggest potential to get nice longs really low before going into a parabolic run. And that, if we check out our targets here by projecting our first wave out from our retracement, we can see that we hit the 100% almost to the tick. Like we missed it by a few dollars. Like
Yeah.
I actually didn't enter because we were so close. I was just waiting this line to be touched to get my lungs in, and it never came. Like it just started mooning, and I was like, damn. Front run me. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Those things happen, and even if we're going up, we're always going to have a 5-wave move to the upside and a retracement and then another move up. So I knew that even if I missed this exact bottom, if it's actually going up, I'm still going to have a chance to get into longs at some point.
Yeah. So basically, right now we are in a scenario where we are not very sure of the long and short case scenario, right?
Exactly. Like in the very short term, we don't really know what's going to happen. It's possible that we are already going up. It's possible that we just come a little bit higher and then come down to finish this whole sequence. So we gotta wait to see what happens in the market. Right now, it's looking like we're actually gonna come down to these lows. If we break this low, our next targets are 24,800, and we have a target at 23,276.
Okay, I have a
So
question here. So
yeah.
basically, what invalidates your long positions? So, for example,
Mhm,
we think that it might be a bullish case scenario, right?
mhm,
And we are looking for the bullish case scenario, right?
mhm.
So for that to happen, it needs to break a resistance and go above that, and then we can declare that okay, it is actually the bottom is in, and now it's only going to go up from here. So what is that breaking point for you that will confirm that this is actually a move up and it's not a move down?
That's a great question. Like the real confirmation comes when we break this high, and actually we want to come a lot higher. Like uh, we want to
No, no, not that bullish. I
not
mean,
that
going
bullish.
back to 31,000.
Down to here.
Going back to where we were, like
Yeah.
going back to $30,000 or $29,000. That's bullish enough because we are sitting in 27.
Okay. So for me to think that we're actually gonna go higher, I'd like to see more than breaking a specific level. I want to see the structure. I'd like this to turn into a 5-wave move. So we have a first push here. Oops, I'll fix that in a second. A retracement for a wave 2. Then we can do a wave 3 somewhere around here, wave 4, and wave 5. If we do something like this, I would be getting really bullish and would expect a triple wave move to the downside of some sort. And then I would expect another big move up, like maybe up to this area, maybe breaking the highs. I don't know, but it should break the previous high at least. So that's what would get me more bullish on this scenario. Now, for the bearish scenario, we would be expecting this move to continue somewhere around 28.4, 28.8, more or less, a maximum of 29.5, and then coming down. And the invalidation for coming down is this high. If we break above 29,867, then it's not part of this first sequence anymore. It's part of another sequence to the upside, or on the other direction here. That doesn't mean that it's gonna break the highs or get really bullish, but breaking this level would tell me that that's another sequence, and probably depending on how we get here, if it gets really choppy and it makes like a lot of ups and downs on the way up here, I would expect another move below these lows. So
And
I'm
what if it makes a triangle? Because
oh, a
that can
triangle would
happen
be
too,
amazing.
right?
Yeah, and actually it's very possible here, because let me go back into a bigger time frame. So we have the possibility where this is a zigzag move and it's done, and just like we saw it, right? And now we're doing something else to the downside that's bigger. And maybe we can make another move up later or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's also other possibilities. There's the possibility where we're actually building a diagonal here, and this is a wave 1, an impulsive diagonal, impulsive move, retracement, impulsive move right here, then a retracement down here, and maybe we put another high. And that would also be really bullish, like if we do something like this, because then we would expect a retracement, probably a long retracement, several months of downside action, or a very aggressive move to the downside. But after that retracement, we would expect these highs to be broken. So ideally, if we finish another push to the upside, we want to start, we want to look for longs and opportunities to get into the market as the price goes down. The lower we go to the low, the better, because for at least in Elliott waves, our invalidation is 90% of the times it's the some low or some high, right? So our shorts, our ideas of price going down usually die when the highs get broken, the major highs get broken. So right here we would have the $15,500 low as our invalidation.
Okay.
And there's
But
another possibility here.
but on a shorter time frame, if it
Mm-hmm.
starts consolidating right now, okay, like right now it goes close to $28,000 and it falls back all the way to $26,000, okay, and it continues to do this kind of movement, like you said, the choppy movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it leads into basically in a position where it's just price bound, it's not
Yeah.
making waves, it's just moving in a channel, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that possibility is also there, right?
Yeah, there is. And since this is a wave 4, or this could be a wave 4 for that diagonal I just showed you, it's possible this is a triangle. but it's way too early to start expecting a triangle because we only have one leg possibly finished here. So before thinking a triangle, I'd like to see something like this, and I'd like to see lower highs and higher lows piling up. And yeah, or maybe we can come back to the same low, right? Like triangles can also be like this: lower highs but equal lows. That's also possible. Or the alternative, equal highs, like maybe we keep bouncing on the ceiling, but we mark higher lows and then we break through.
Okay.
So
And
that's possible. But
how to trade this market from current position? If someone is looking for a trade, what kind of time frame do you suggest? How long should be the trade? Should it be 1 2 days trade? Should it be longer, or and can they open a long or a short at this price?
those are all great questions. Right now, exactly where price is at this moment, I wouldn't get into any trade. Because it's in between motions, right? Like we always want to get in at extremes. So we want to short when it goes up like really hard, or when price is really high, or we want to go long when price goes low, right? So right now it's in between. We can see that it's not either close to the low or close to the high. So I'd be waiting. Right now I'm expecting a partner leg to this one. So we have a first push here. We have a retracement down here. And I think now we're building a third leg to the upside. So what I would be waiting for and looking for is if we make 3 waves here, a zigzag, so 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves, and come up to this zone, or maybe up to 29 500, I would be looking for shorts at some of these levels. Now, the higher the better, because our invalidation is right here, this red line, right at 29,867. And we can use that as our stop loss. So I would be looking for a short here, something like this, maybe putting my stop loss above the previous high, and I would be expecting a break of the lows if that happens. So that's the possibility I'm seeing for nice shorts. It's probably a trade to hold for several days, maybe a couple of weeks. Usually the trades I focus on are like that. I don't like getting in and out the same day because the moves are usually so small that it the profits don't even cover for fees, or it's a lot harder to make profits. It's also a lot more enslaving because you have to be looking at the 15-minute chart or 5-minute chart, and you really don't have any time to rest if you do that. Usually day traders, who are people that get in and out of the market the same day, that's what they do. Like they never leave a trade open for more than one day. Like they come in, look at the chart, say okay, it's going up, and they make their bets, and before they go to sleep they close everything. For me, that hasn't really worked that well because the lower time frames always have a lot more noise and it's harder to catch the moves, and the moves are smaller. Like the moves you're catching right here are a lot smaller than the ones you're catching at bigger time frames. So I like relaxing, taking a few trades. I don't have a need to take many trades. I just want to take trades that are profitable and that make them the most amount of money, right? So having a 13% move for a trade is a lot better than a 1 to 5% move, at least
I
for me.
agree. I agree. Okay, I think this pretty much sums it up.
Yeah,
That
there's one more thing I would say really
Yeah.
quick. If we come down here, or even if we go up, but if we break these lows right here before breaking the highs over here, I would be looking for longs, like probably around 25,300 or something like that. For that, our setup would be, let me see, this would be an a leg B. Let's say this is the high right now, right? Probably we're coming higher, but if it stops right here and then comes down and breaks the lows, We have a level of interest at 25,178, and then we have another area of interest around $23,000, 22.7, 23.6, more or less. And our stop loss would be below the 1618, so 21,000. This is a pretty deep drop, so probably I would look for something else for this trade. But even if sorry, this would be like an even longer time frame trade, probably to hold for a couple of months, maybe a couple of years if we're lucky. Maybe for life if we're super bullish, but basically it would be something like this, and our upside, I would be expecting something like $50,000 at least, or something like that. Um, Obviously, taking some profits before going high. I always like taking 25% at important levels and moving my stop loss to entry when we know that we're already in a new trend. So yeah, that's what I would be looking for. Either wait for it to come higher to take a short, or wait for it to go lower to take a long.
I agree. I agree. And I think this is the best way to deal with it. And right now it's a very complicated time frame, but to sum it up, as much as I understood from it, is that in a shorter time frame, you are a bit more bullish, and in a longer time frame, you are bearish.
Yeah.
And that's how we are currently looking at the market. And I think uh, I would agree to that as well. I mean, personally, like in our premium group, I did share my zones as well, and I'm just opening it up to see where did it go. Yeah, so for me, this whole bearishness, it ends at $27,800.
Okay.
So if it goes above that, if Bitcoin goes above that point and it stays there for like 7-8 hours, then that pretty much confirms that the low is in, and the bulls are way more powerful than I assume them to be, because that's a decent resistance in a shorter time frame. Of course, it's not for the big time frame, because this is not a daily chart. But yeah, let's see how it goes. It's a very tricky situation right now, and I'm hoping history to repeat, basically, because it's one of those years when the bears come in, they stay long, they stay till August generally. So I'm hoping the bad months to stay. So let's.
Yeah, honestly, the cluster algorithm divergence is a pretty solid point for the bears. Like, I want to be really bullish, but looking at this, I'm like, I'm gonna hold my shorts, man, and keep some uh, dollars in my account ready to buy whatever dip comes.
Yeah, yeah. I think opening a long after the dips is going to be more easy and comfortable for us to do. So yeah, let's wait for the right time. I think that's what we can communicate to our community and all those who are watching. And what we suggest is that if you are not already in a trade, then yeah, go for it. Like we are in for our group, we took a trade of Solana, and it's still in a bit of profit. I don't know what it is, and I
I
kept it
think Solana
open.
is gonna it has a lot of room to the upside, to be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw a guy. He mentioned Solana going from 21 to $40.
Oh wow, he is really bullish then.
Oh, he's very bullish. He's a guy. He's not very famous, but he's a guy that is in crypto from a long time. So I have a kind of we are not buddies, but I mean I'm keeping an eye on him. So he generally sometimes make very strong statements. So here he was saying that if Bitcoin goes to $40,000, Solana will go to 40. And he said that, what do you want? Do you want Solana to go from 21 to 40, where you can double your money, or you want to go with Bitcoin, which will just move from 27 to 40? Solana will outperform Bitcoin. That
Yeah.
was the gist of his post that he was making. Yeah, I see a lot of bullishness on Solana. One of the reasons that people are bullish on it is because they are again comparing it to Ethereum. So back in the days, 2019, Ethereum was declared dead again by the Bitcoin maximalists, those who love and pray to Bitcoin. They said that the only god that exists is Bitcoin, and all of the other crypto is crap. So they they declared Bitcoin, they declared Ethereum as dead end, and that's why eventually Ethereum went from $2,000 to $130. It dipped really badly, and it was declared dead and everything. And after that, 130, it moved to $4,500. It outperformed a lot of things, and that's something that is now the narrative for Solana, because people are saying that is declared dead, but it's the underdog that is going to come out and put up a fight and win. Personally, I don't believe in that story. The reason for it is very simple, is because in the days of Ethereum was alone. It was the only king in the market.
Mhm.
But right now, Solana has so many competitors out there that wouldn't even give a chance to Solana to, have that victory dance, like your favorite project, Cardano, right?
Yeah.
Uh, it's there. It's
So,
fighting. It's there. It's trying its best. You have Avalanche. It's trying its best. Then you have ARB came out of nowhere.
yeah.
It
And did
came out of
crazy
nowhere.
stuff.
Crazy stuff. Now I'm looking at Dogecoin. People are doing something. I have not even looked into it. What the hell is going on with the Dogecoin? People are launching project on it or something. Did they introduce a blockchain or something?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't follow Doge's fundamentals, but uh, I don't know. I like how it pumps like crazy sometimes.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't follow the fundamentals either, but I mean, I looked at it and it was there. So, so many projects are out there, that are up and against Solana. So this is not a Ethereum situation. Ethereum was all alone for so long, and that's why Ethereum could do whatever it wants to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a project like Ethereum in current environment wouldn't survive. I mean, think about Ethereum. Ethereum has unlimited supply. Just imagine, it
Mhm.
is unlimited supply coin,
That's
and it's
crazy.
and it's that big. And right now, there are projects that are way more good than Ethereum, but they don't have such a strong footing like Ethereum has, right?
Mhm.
So I think, yeah, that is there. And like you mentioned, that the TAs and everything are bullish on Solana as well. But I would like to stay bearish because I'm sitting in the trade. So
You're sitting in the short. I think
yeah,
it's gonna play out. Where's the stop loss for that trade on Solana,
oh
if I
yeah.
may ask?
Let me check. Let me check.
I'm just
Let,
curious because I think it has a lot of upside, but probably going down first. If you see, I have a plan here to long Solana a little bit lower if it comes down.
uh, yeah. I mean, let me just check what was shared. Okay. So there is render. Okay. The stop loss, it's at 22.8. So
22.8.
can you open the chart of Solana?
Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah.
Let me
So
see,
you can see
22.8.
22.8. It's kind of above the waves, the
Yeah,
local waves. So if it
yeah, that
breaks
makes
that
sense.
structure, if it breaks that structure, then it pretty much means that the bulls are in. If it's breaking that much, then I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And probably, let me see here. I think that should match our Fibonacci extensions. Yeah, yeah. Probably we don't want we shouldn't see this go beyond this. The safest stop I see would be above here,
Oh yeah.
like up to 24, 25. But seeing Bitcoin, I don't think it's gonna like just skyrocket. Like I think Bitcoin still has a lot of room to go down. So the alts will follow.
Yeah, yeah, that's my hope. The father is going to die, the kids will follow.
Yeah, man, I had a long for Solana at $9, and I closed it at $11 or $12 or something like that. I feel like so stupid, bro. I was so scared, like, oh, I don't trust anything in Solana, and I closed my trade, and it went to the moon, bro.
Oh
It's
yeah, right.
crazy.
It went really high, but it's okay. We all have done a lot of sillier stuff than this. I mean, I'm coming from the days where I have given bitcoins to people to scam me.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and full bitcoins, not one bitcoin, not two.
Oof.
So we have done a lot of stuff that we shouldn't have done.
Yeah, and
So
that's how we
anyway,
learn.
yeah,
Anyways,
that's how we learn. So it was a fruitful session, I hope, for everyone. And thank you so much, Sebastian, for joining. And
yeah, thank you, man.
yeah, it's a tricky situation, everyone. Watch out for your trades until and unless you're sitting in a long or a short. Like we both are sitting in long and short. so
Hmm. And
so we are holding our grounds, and we're just going to see how it works out because our philosophy is very straightforward. Don't let the emotions kick in. When you were taking the trade, you had a strategy in place, you had your reasons. As the market is moving, don't touch your trade because you decided it at that time that it's going to work like that. Let it play out. What do you think, Sebastian?
I totally agree. The market is about patience. Once I heard that the market is an instrument to move money from the impatient to the patient. And I think that's incredibly accurate.
That's exactly how it is now.
Yeah,
A
trading is
lot
like
of
being a sniper, like you're on the edge of a building, waiting for hours for the right time, the right opportunity. You measure the wind and you take one shot. Like you don't need to take 75 shots to see which one will hit. You take one good shot, and that's all you need.
that's all you need. Yeah. Oh, I love sniper games. I don't know if I would ever get to learn
Hmm.
in real life, but yeah. Have you played sniper games?
Not really.
Yeah, so
Are they
there was
cool?
a game of sniper. I forgot what it was. It was on PlayStation,
Oh, nice.
and it shows the bullet going through and the X-ray of your hit and
Oh,
everything. And even at the time of taking a shot, you need to match your breathing with your shot.
nice. Very realistic.
Very realistic, and it was so good. And sometimes you need to camouflage your shot. So what you do is that oh, there's a guy he knows, guy or girl. I can't see the name. He says Sniper Elite. So there is a
Nice.
gamer. So basically, what happens is that you need to camouflage your shot, and so what you do is that first you shoot a generator, a power generator, and then
Hmm.
it starts making clacking sounds. And then when it's making that clacking sound because it's not making it continuously, that's the time when you take a shot. So you could
Oh,
hide the sound.
oh, interesting.
It's very fun. Anyway, it's 48 minutes in. Thank you everyone again for joining us. Those who missed, watch it again. It's on YouTube. If you're watching from somewhere else, again, it's on YouTube. You can leave us comments and we would be more than happy to respond. Until then, it's a bye bye from my end. And Sebastian,
See you soon, guys. Stay safe and protect your capital.
oh, yeah, definitely. Take care. Bye.
See you around.